Hey there. Today we are diving deep into the three persons in grammar, a simple but important concept that helps us understand who is speaking, who is being spoken to, and who is being spoken about. Let's break it all down clearly and completely. First one is the first person. Now, for the record, in the previous or recent video, we only spoke about the persons and then the object and subjects, and we promised we were going to delve more into the various parts of the persons. And this once again falls under the personal pronouns. So, for the first person, we said it basically speaks about the speaker or the one speaking, right? So when you refer to yourself or include yourself in a group, you are using the first person, right? Now, we also spoke about the singular form and then the object form and then the subject and then the plural forms of each of the persons, right? By this time, we are going to separate them into including the possessive adjective and then possessive pronouns, right? So whatever you learned, don't discard that. We are just building them up, right? So once again, we have the subject, the singular form of it again. We have the I, right? We have the me, and then when it comes to the possessive adjective, we have the mine, right? So this is my book, right? Now we have the possessive pronoun, that is mine, right? The pen is mine, right? And we have the reflexive pronoun, right? That is myself. I did it myself, right? And so here, all these types are under the singular personal pronoun, right? For the first person. So we are going to move on to the plural form of this first person, right? Take record. So once again, for the plural, right, this is more than one person, right? So once again, here we have the subject, the object, right, which we have already looked at them already. So let's move on to the possessive adjective. We have the our, right? Our or our, some will say our, but our. So that example is our class is fun, right? And then we have the possessive pronoun, that's ours, or yes, ours. And right, the house is ours, right? So we are just building them and then adding more to those pronouns that we looked at. And then for the reflexive pronoun, we have the ourselves, right? We did it ourselves. So now I think we are getting the picture. The picture now is quite clearer. So possessive included in the one that we did earlier, right? Adding up to the subject, the object, the singular, and then the plural forms. It's just a matter of adding the possessive pronouns. We are just building up the block. So now let's move to the second person. Once again, the same thing, the same rhythm, right? We have the listener. The second person talks about the listener, the person that we are speaking to directly, right? So, and then when you are speaking to someone else, right, that is the second person, right? This form is the same whether you are addressing one person or many. That is the you. The you can be used the singular form and in the plural form. It's based on what we are talking about, right? The number, the quantity. So here, the singular and plural is the same thing, right? Now, we have the subject form, which we have already looked at. You, the object you. You are amazing. For the object, I saw you yesterday. Possessive adjective, you. Is this your book, right? Is this your book, right? Now, for the possessive pronoun, yours. This pen is yours. Don't worry, you understand this or appreciate this better, when we start looking at adjective, right? The adjectives, you understand why this, right? So even though they basically look like the pronouns, when you move to adjective and you are speaking, you realize that this actually talks more about the adjectival form or the adjective form, right? So moving on to the reflexive, right? We have the yourself. So you did it yourself. So for multiple people, yourselves. Example, you should prepare yourselves. Right, I think you are getting the picture. If you have any other question, just in the comment section, let me know and I'll address this. Now, let's look at the last person. That is the third person. Right? The one being talked about or spoken about. You are talking about someone or something else. You are using what? The third person. When you are doing this, you are using the third person. It covers people, animals, and then objects. Once again, let's tackle the singular form, and then we will look at the plural form. Still looking at what the subject and the object forms. Right. So for the subject, the singular form, we have the he, she, it. Right. Example: she is kind. She is studying. It works well. Object: him, her, it. I gave him a book. I called her. I fixed it. Right? So that is it. So with the object and the subject, you understand them better when we start talking about sentence, the structure of a English sentence. Right? We have the object, the subject, the predicate, and all that. Don't worry. We'll talk about them later. So just stick around. Now moving on to still continue in the singular form. Now we are moving to the possessive adjective. We have the his, her, its. Example there. We have the possessive pronoun his, hers, its. They are there. And then the reflexive pronoun himself, herself, itself. He did it himself. She spoke for herself. The cat, what? The cat cleaned itself. Right. So the plural form, once again, looking at the subject, the object, the possessive, and all. Moving to straight away to the possessive adjective, we have the their. Right? Their. And then that is their house is huge. Possessive pronoun, theirs. The prize is theirs. Reflexive pronoun, themselves. They did it themselves. Right. So by now, you have a full picture of the three persons and all their pronouns. No more confusion. If you still have confusions or doubts, just in the comment section, let me know. If you found this helpful, right, be sure to follow for more English tips. See you